everybody, welcome back to Wigs with Steph. I'm Steph and I'm so glad you're here with me today because this is going to be one of those real talk videos. I want to chat about something that every wig wearer has to face at some point. This is compliments and this is criticism. We're all gonna go through this. We either have already or you will. Wearing wigs, it opens the doors for people to have opinions, and those opinions aren't always easy to handle. People will compliment you, and that's nice, right? Like that feels really good. Just sometimes those compliments can feel like they're boxing you in. And people will also criticize, whether they mean to or not, and that can be really hurtful if you're already feeling vulnerable about your hair. And so in today's video, I want to teach you how to stand strong with confidence without letting criticism get under your skin or without letting compliments make you feel pressured to stay the same. Because when we rely too much on what other people say, whether it's good, whether it's bad, it can steal our freedom just to be ourselves. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be confident in your choices, whether you're wearing a synthetic wig, a human hair wig, a different color than usual, or no wig at all. I want you to feel free to be you. And listen, this isn't about ignoring people or being cold or being rude back. This is about learning how to stand strong in love and confidence so that people's words, good or bad, don't shake you. And of course, I'm gonna be sharing some stories, some practical ways to handle these situations, and hopefully you're gonna walk away from this video feeling more at ease and more peace and ultimately feel a little lighter altogether. So let's start with compliments because we all love them, right? Your hair looks great. Thank you. Thank you so much. When someone says, wow, your hair looks amazing, or that color looks perfect on you, or oh my goodness, it makes your eyes stand out. It feels so good, does it not? But here's the thing I've learned. Compliments can unintentionally trap you too. But you're like, well, Steph, what do you mean they trap you? They just feel good. They don't trap me. No. They can. Sometimes people will say things like, I love you with your brunette wig, so don't change it. You look so good in brunette. Don't ever change that color. Don't change that style. Or straight hair suits you better than curly. Or I liked your old hair color more. And suddenly you feel pressured to keep your hair the same just to please that person who gave you the compliment. You see what I'm saying? So I want to tell you a story. A little while ago, I switched from a blonde wig color to a darker color, this color actually. And I was so excited about the change, but someone close to me said, oh, I liked you better as a blonde. This just isn't good. Like, I don't like this color on you. It doesn't look as good. You're better as a blonde. And they meant well, but that comment got in my head. And for weeks, I questioned myself. I kept wondering if everyone was secretly thinking the same thing. Anytime I wore this wig out, I was like, do people not like it on me? Do they think I just look strange? But here's the reality. They weren't the ones wearing the wig. It was my choice. It was my style. It was my confidence. Yet, because I had allowed their earlier compliments about my blonde wig to define me, I now felt trapped when I changed it. Does that make sense? So maybe you've experienced this too. Compliments can make us feel so loved sometimes. But if we attach it to our identity, we start making choices for other people instead of for ourselves. And here's the solution that I've kind of come up with over the years of experiencing this. And it's basically to accept the compliment with gratitude always, because it's nice to hear, but don't hold on to it as your new truth. And you can smile and you can say, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But then move on. Remind yourself, if you're ready to try a new style, try a new color, try a new wig, that's your decision. Don't just not do it because someone's told you you look better in the other one. And can I encourage you here? You are allowed to change. You are allowed to try new things. It's part of the fun of wig wearing. And the same person who complimented you today might be the person who criticizes you tomorrow, but that's okay. That's why your choices need to be rooted in what you love. If you've ever felt trapped by a compliment, type the word yes in the comments below, because I want to know who else relates to this, because truly, I think so many of us do. I know that I do. So if you relate, please type yes in the comment section now. So let's talk about criticism, because if you wear wigs long enough, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, but it's the truth, someone is going to make a comment that stings. It might be direct. It might be something like, I liked your real hair better. Or it might be, that color just isn't really you. I don't think you really look good in that color. Or it might be someone who says, wow, that's a wig. You should try a different one though. I've gotten that a lot. As well as it might be something subtle like, oh, you changed your hair again? With that tone, you changed it again? And the worst, which is the public announcement, oh, you're wearing a wig. I've had that happen to me when I've been at family events, and just literally the whole room turns. At least it feels like they have. They all look at you and now they know you wear a wig. And I remember early on in my wig journey, these comments sometimes would send me into a bit of a spiral. Not very proud of that, but it's how I used to handle it. And I'd second guess everything. And I would be thinking about it for like weeks later. And I'd avoid wearing wigs I loved because I was afraid of what people would think or say about me. But here's the honest truth, and here's what I've learned. Criticism almost always says more about the other person than it does about you. And some people are just uncomfortable with change. It's the way it is for them. Some people think they're helping by offering unsolicited opinions. It happens a lot. And some people, they just don't know how to be kind. And I'll share a funny story here too. I once had a family member say, why do you always wear your hair so perfect? It makes me feel like a mess. And I'm standing there thinking, I'm literally wearing a wig. I put it on in 2 seconds. This is just like how the wigs look. Like they just look perfect. What do you want? Do you want me to go roll around in the grass first so you feel better? I didn't say that, but it's kind of what I wanted to say at that moment. But seriously, we can't control people's comments. And a lot of times they mean well, it just doesn't come out right. We can only control our response. So that's what I try to do now. And here's how I handle it. First, I pause before reacting. I really try not to snap back or over-explain myself. I remind myself, this is about them, it's not about me. And if necessary, from here, I will set a boundary. So I'll just say, thank you so much for your input, but I'm happy with the way my hair looks. And when someone criticizes you publicly, what I do now is I kill them with kindness. I do it every time. And people never expect that. And it keeps your peace intact. Because I tell you what, before I learned this lesson, I would either, 1, explode at them and then feel really bad about it later, or 2, not say anything, but have these terrible, rude thoughts in my head and then be thinking about it weeks later, thinking about, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that. How could I have made my comment the meanest I could have said it to have hurt them back? I regret even thinking that way now. To ever come back at someone out of a place of not being loving, I think is always a mistake. No matter what someone says to you, no matter how much it stings, I don't think it's ever appropriate to trample back on someone. It never feels right. If it's not out of love, I try not to say it anymore. But I'm not perfect. I don't always do this right. But I have learned if I always speak love and life over them, it turns around real fast. Even if they don't turn around, even if they're still kind of a nasty person when the conversation ends, I get to hold my head up high and know that I took the high road and I don't have to go home later that evening and feel bad about what I said because I treated that person with love and respect. So now that's what I try to do every single time someone tries to come at me with something that is supposed to hurt. But because now I just treat them with love and respect, it doesn't sting so much anymore. It's kind of like I'm wearing a bulletproof vest and these little stings just fly on off. Because again, it says more about them than it says about me. What you can control is your response. And if you were to explode on them, well, guess what? Now it's about you. But if you continue to treat them with love and respect in your responses, it's still about them. It says more about them than it does about you, because what has come from you has only been good. That's how I try to look at it now, and it has saved me immensely over the years. Another story I want to tell you guys, this literally just happened to me the other day. I was at the mall, I was in a store, I was trying on clothes. When I was taking a sweater off, my wig came with it. I was in the change room, like it doesn't really matter, but there's a lady there who was helping me with my sizes. So she was actually standing at my change room door and she saw my wig come off. And she went from being so nice to me, like we were really getting along, to suddenly being really rude. And I couldn't understand it. I couldn't figure it out. And so I just, bravely basically asked her what was wrong, what had changed. And she kind of looked at me in disgust and said, "You wear a wig." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do wear a wig. What's wrong with that?" And then she looked at me and she said, "Well, only people who don't have hair are supposed to wear a wig." And that really took me back. And because I've been in the midst of criticism before, I've had a bit of practice. Now, immediately, because I was taken back, I was more in shock, like I didn't know what to respond. But then I just said to myself again, like I paused again before I responded, and I just took a breath. And then I just looked at her like as if she was my sister. Like I still love this person. I don't really know her well, but she's somebody's daughter. So I just looked at her and I explained to her that wigs are for everyone. And yes, my hair is growing back currently, but I have suffered from hair loss. And I told her about my Graves' disease and how I lost my hair. And I've actually been wearing wigs for well over a decade at this point, and alternative hair for so long now. And I've fallen in love with my wigs. And because I've been wearing them for so long, I told her that even if my hair did grow back completely to what it was like before, I would still wear my wigs, because that's how much I love them. And of course, like my head has its own thoughts. I'm thinking in my head, well, what did you want me to do? Did you want me to buy all these wigs when I had hair loss? And then suddenly I'm finally at a place where I can kind of like grow my hair back a bit. And what, should I just wear my own hair and throw out all my wigs that I've gathered over the years and just ditch the love I have for them because my hair just came back a little bit? No, that seems really silly to me, especially because I love them now. And she did hear me out. And after she heard me out, I feel like our conversation ended in a much better place where she had more understanding for hair loss and what that might look like for different people, that it can go in waves. And also she was a little more open to the idea of wigs. I told her even celebrities wear wigs. You don't have to have hair loss to wear a wig, and you should be accepted regardless of your hair choice. It seems silly to suddenly become rude to someone just because they're wearing a wig. But think about this. If I had just exploded on her, it would have ruined my experience at that store. I probably would never go back. And she would have also had a terrible moment with me as well, which maybe she would have thought about it for the rest of her day. And if I would have had a negative comment towards her, it could have ruined her day, maybe her week. And I don't want that for her. So this is why I think it's really important that when we're criticized in life, especially with our wigs, especially if you've had hair loss, it becomes, I've explained this before, hair loss kind of makes like a sore on your soul almost. Like it kind of hurts when people bring it up because you've experienced such depth and such emotion in that area. Your heart is like cracked wide open. And so when someone tugs and pulls and criticizes you about your hair, it can really sting. And so that's why I bring this up. Treat people with love and respect. Take a breath, Pause before you react. If you come at them from a place of love and understanding, it's going to be so much better of an experience. Even if they come away from it still a nasty person, you get to hold your head up high, and you're not going to be consumed by these thoughts of you should have done this differently or guilt of how you treated them when you go home later. That might happen to them if they were really rude to you. That's not for you to judge. That's not for you to even think about past that moment. So this is how to live with peace and love and happiness, and just to have fun with your wigs and to let these negative things just bounce off you. Put on that armor, put on that bulletproof vest, just let these comments bounce right off you. And so here's where comments and criticism actually intersects. If you're living for one, you will be destroyed by the other. Does that make sense? When your confidence depends on the compliments you receive from people, criticism, when you get it, it will crush you. And when you're afraid of criticism, you'll be playing it safe. You'll never try anything new. You're not going to have fun on this wig journey. Your confidence needs to come from a deeper place. And for me, it came from finally understanding that my value wasn't tied to my hair or my wigs, that why I change colors, why I try bangs, even though I don't look good in bangs, according to my own opinion, so that's fine. Experiment with styles, why I do all this, and how and why I laugh off the occasional weird comment. It's because I know the impact of becoming too attached to these compliments or the criticism. And here's what I ask myself now. Do I love this wig? Do I feel good in this wig? Does it make me feel like the best version of me? Do I feel like me when I wear it? And if the answer is yes, then that's all that matters. Everything else I try not to really pay attention to. And can I just add this? We all need to treat each other with kindness. Whether someone's wig looks natural or not, whether you personally like their hair choice or not, people are carrying enough as it is. A little kindness really does go such a long way. If you agree with that, can you type the word kindness in the comments? And let me just tell you, one of the very best parts about wearing wigs is the freedom to change your look whenever you want. That is why I've fallen in love with wigs. That is why I always say if my hair comes back, I'm still wearing wigs, because I can be a redhead one week. I can then try blonde the next. I can try bangs today and ditch them tomorrow. But you can't enjoy that freedom if you're constantly worried about what other people are thinking. I've had people say, I liked your hair better before. And I'll usually just smile and say thanks for the input, but I actually really like it this way. And then I'll just continue on. It works like a charm. And you know what's amazing? When you own your choices with love and confidence, it's contagious. People sense that, and it gives them permission to relax and just let you be. And hey, really quick, if this video is helping you so far, would you mind hitting that like button? Because it genuinely helps to push the video further and reach more people who are actually searching for this kind of encouragement. And if you want to be a part of this community and get more tips on wigs and hair loss, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we are all things wigs on this channel. We cover everything. And I would love to have you come back here and hang out with me again. And now listen to this, because here is the big takeaway that I don't want people to miss. Don't let people control you with their criticism or trap you with their compliments. Wigs are about freedom. They're about confidence. They're about expressing yourself. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to experiment and to have fun with your hair. If someone loves it, great. If someone doesn't love it, that's fine too. Because at the end of the day, guys, your worth is not up for debate. I want you to just be happy in your life. Life is hard enough. Let's just enjoy our wig wearing journey. And if you've ever felt stuck because of compliments or hurt because of criticism, I'd love to hear your story. Please write it down in the comment section below, because you don't know which person it's going to help who's reading your very comment. They might be struggling with the very same thing. So as always, thank you so much for letting me be a part of your wig journey, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.